Oh man, I know you didn't run into my damn Bentley.
Duh, dude, big green truck.
Big Indiana ass truck coming in front of me like that.
I had the right of way, man.
It's a $150,000 car.
I don't give a crap, I had the right of way.
Right away?
The right of way.
You pulled out in front of me.
You should have to stop.
I don't have no stop sign here. You pulled out in front of me. I tell you what, you see that little camera right there? I got a dash cam. Everything's on camera.
Whatever, I don't care. I had the right of way.
We're gonna find out in court. I'll bring that in court. We'll see.
We'll see what your little camera says.
All right. Well, we just seen the little accident. Obviously, it wasn't a real accident, but in the case that it was, this is going to be stored on here and be able to be used in court. This little unit is made by Vantrue. It's the OnDash N2 Pro. It's a very high quality unit. It has a lot of really cool features. One of the really cool features that I like about it is it actually has a G-force sensor built in, so that if you get into a wreck and it senses that, it automatically locks in the recording and makes sure that it doesn't record over that as you're driving about or doing whatever you're going to do. It also has a 1080p forward and rearward camera. It's adjustable here. You can adjust the interior camera in case you were to get robbed or something happened in the cabin here. But let's take this off and go into my office. We'll talk a little bit more about it. This is a very, very high quality unit. It's really cool. So as we talked about in the vehicle, in court, the he said, she said is going to be back and forth finger pointing, and this is going to put an end to it. This will be a total obliterate the competition as far as who did what. So I was given this unit to review it and check it out, and I did. It's very high quality. It has SD card, it has a 1.5 inch LCD screen, 30 frames per second, and as I showed in the vehicle, it has dual cameras, one for the inside, one for the outside. And I just really was impressed by the build quality. So Vantrue's not only given me a chance to review this product for them, but they're also giving a discount for you guys. If you want to go click the link below, there's a link to where you can go and purchase this on Amazon, and there's a discount code included. Check that out. You guys will really be impressed with this. This is a really nice unit. One really cool thing too is they gave me a second one of these to run a contest on my channel. If you want to click the link below, this contest runs till May 1st this year, and you guys can click the link, enter the contest, and one of you lucky people will get one of these absolutely free. Like I said, I really recommend this product, and there is a chance for one of you to get one for free. Now, let's go back to that beautiful Bentley that's outside. Let's go see what's up with that. This car is definitely down my line. I like Ferraris, I like Lamborghinis, but this has the power of one of those, but it's a comfortable cruiser. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. This is a 2014 Bentley Continental GTC. It's got the 4-liter twin turbo V8 in it. We're not gonna be doing anything crazy with it. We're just doing an oil change on it today. And it's such a beautiful car. I thought you guys might want to follow along with me. This is one of my customers, John. We've seen some of his other vehicles in here, and he's actually rents these cars like this on Turo. If you're in the south central Kansas area and you're looking for a car that's a little bit more pizzazz than a Kia, a Chevy Cruze, or something crazy, you want something cool, look up Turo, find John Riley is his name, and all of his cars are listed. These are for rent. I service all of his cars for him. Very awesome cars, and he's excellent to do business with. So, on to the car. Let's get it on the lift and check it over and do an oil change. There's one thing you have to do on these before you lift it, and we're going to show you that. On pretty much any vehicle made by Volkswagen, Audi, it could be a Gallardo, it could be a Bentley, it could be a Porsche. They have electronic suspension. You can't just lift it up. You'll cause all kinds of warnings. And typically what I found on all these vehicles, there's always a button with a shock symbol and a raise or lower button. What you do is you turn the key on, not the engine, just the key, Then you're going to hold these two buttons down for 10 seconds. We see the little icon came up, it has arrows that allows us, it's a little orange icon. That's going to allow us now to lift the car. It's saying that it's ready. So now we can lift the car. One more thing I want to mention before we lift it up is I indicated too there's a little orange icon that shows two arrows. Another thing you want it to see on there is also it says jack mode. Whenever you push those two buttons, it'll come up and actually say jack mode, which it did. So now we're definitely ready to lift it. So in order to do the oil change, we got to pull this belly pan off, and it takes a T27 Torx. But before we do that, we're going to give the vehicle a quick check over. This is what I do on oil changes services. Check the brake pads, and they've got about 30% left probably. Got a little life left in them. I don't see any torn CV shaft boots. And we check for any looseness. That's good. We'll go over here. Same scenario on the pads there, about 35% left. Rotors are okay. No torn CV boots. And we'll check for looseness. Okay, let's start right here. Here's the transmission. I see absolutely no drops of anything anywhere, which is great. And nothing loose there. I see no leaks. Exhaust looks good. CV shaft boots look good. Sway bar link's good there. The brakes, same story here, about 30% remaining. And same there. Sway bar link's good. Nothing loose there, nothing loose there. I don't see any leaks anywhere, so we'll go ahead and pull that belly pan off and start with our oil change. Okay, get this Allen key in here and 6mm and get this drain plug loose. There we go, somebody had it on pretty tight there. Go ahead and get this thing draining out of here. Might splash you here. Normally I would take this brace off here so it wouldn't get oil all over it, but I don't need no rusted, broken bolts. These are things that when you're doing an oil change and you got a customer waiting and oops, I broke a bolt, you don't want to mess with that stuff. We can clean this off, we can take care of that. It's faster and easier to clean this than it is scramble trying to find broken, stripped out bolts. What we're doing here is a pretty thorough oil change, or service as you call it. Some of the faster lube places you go to, they may not even change your oil filter. They just drain it and refill it. And they'll be bringing you parts off your car, your fuel filter. You need to change this, you need to do this, you need to do that. Half the time it didn't even come off your car if you really look closely what they bring you. So be careful when you go to those places if you do use them. But really I recommend you, if you've got good rapport with your local mechanic, have him do your oil changes. He'll check over a lot more things and be honest, and well, at least I am honest and fair with you. So I really don't recommend those places. I've seen a lot of trouble with them. I've had to repair damage from them. And really, who would take a Bentley to a fast lube place and let those guys mess with it? I probably wouldn't do that. Okay, and let that drain a little bit. I'll do some more checking. Check the radiator hoses, and there's a lot of them on here. There's a cooler here with hoses. I don't see anything leaking. Everything looks nice and dry, which is great. Radiator hose. Auxiliary pump. Condensers. Coolers. Okay. This is almost done draining here. Check the belt tensioner and pulley. A lot of the stuff you can't see from up above. It's very difficult to see, so it's a good time to check all this stuff. And this could be done as do-it-yourself, but you have it on jack stands. It's not a very fun job to do-it-yourself oil change. Just take it to your mechanic if he's a trustworthy guy and let him take care of it. And this just needs to be snug by hand. It was so tight last time I had to get a cheater wrench and get it off. That's how this stuff gets stripped out. That's another risk at the fast lube places is you get a guy in there who's not experienced and he just cranks on it, rounds out the hex or tears it up. As you see, I just got it seated, snug. That's good enough. Now we can clean this bar off. There we go. As you see, no drips, no stains, no mess. That is so much easier to do than fighting with bolts that are stubborn. Okay, next we're going to do oil filter. This is a 32 millimeter. It has a little drain on it right here. I don't ever mess with those. You strip that out or something doesn't go right with the threads. Now what? Now what are you going to do? On this type of a car especially, I don't mess with that stuff. I just let it drain like a normal oil filter would. There we go. The old oil filter. Get it cleaned up here. Yes, I got oil all over my hand. And I'd much rather do that than have to scramble and buy a new oil filter housing because I stripped out the plug. Okay. I've been there before, that's how I know. A lot of you wonder, why doesn't he wear gloves? So many mechanics today wear gloves to even put a spark plug in or whatever. And maybe I'll pay for it for someday, but I can't stand gloves. I start getting sweaty and I can't hold stuff. It starts getting slimy in there. I'm not a glove guy. I don't like gloves. Take the O-ring off. Here's a new oil filter. Comes with a new O-ring, just like you saw I took the O-ring off. The O-ring's side of the filter goes into the engine. This little serrated edge snaps in here, just like so. Take a little bit of the motor oil that's dripped out and put it on the O-ring. Always lubricate an oil ring or you'll rip it or tear it and you'll have an oil leak. So when it bottoms out and stops, just a tiny, like a 30-second of a turn, it's hardly anything, and that's it. Again, you don't want to break that or strip it out. Okay, what I'm going to do now is get some brake clean. We'll clean up our mess. Like I said, I always rather clean a mess than break something. There we go, nice and sparkly clean again. Okay, we're going to lower it and put the oil in it. Okay, some of you say, hey, he didn't put the belly pan back on. That guy's an idiot. No, I'm not. I'm going to fill it up with oil and I'm going to start the engine and I'm going to check for leaks and make sure there's no mistakes made. How can you see that if the belly pan is still on? And you won't find out until the customer takes it home and it's spilling out of the vents in the belly pan. So I'm going to go clean my hands and we'll get the oil filled in here. Okay, here's our oil fill cap. Check the brake fluid. It's good. Power steering. It's good. Check the antifreeze. And I can see that it's full all the way to this line there. It's pink colored. It's good. And as you can see, we were checking below the belts and things. You can't see them from up here. You really can't see anything. So when you're down there below is the time to check your belts and check stuff out. And as we see here, 5W30 is the factory standard oil weight. Customer demands that we use Mobil 1 5W30, and he also wants a quart of Lucas synthetic in it. That's what he wants, that's what he's going to get. So it takes 8 quarts of oil. We're going to start out with the Lucas. This is the pure synthetic. I always start, if a customer wants an additive, I always put it in first, because now when we pour the rest of the oil in, it goes in and mixes it nicely. This stuff's a little thinner than the original Lucas. It takes forever to pour out. Okay, there's that. So it holds 8 quarts. We're going to put 1 of the Lucas and 7 of Mobil 1. Okay. In the background you see a DeLorean and there's a Lamborghini. We've got a laundry list of things we're doing on that. I'm going back together with the interior on it, and there's Hoovie's Maserati. This is not Hoovie's DeLorean. This is Bob from Euro-Asian. I've mentioned him in some of my videos. He sells nice quality used European cars. And we got another laundry list with that one. We've got quite a lot to do on it. Spark plugs, tune-up, injectors, rebuild the fuel distributor, all kinds of wonderful things. Oh. Some people these days are doing the 10 and 15,000 mile oil changes, and I can't see it. I think maybe 5 or 6 at the most. We really need to get the old oil out. There's a lot of modern cars have plastic timing guides and plastic components inside the engine. And when oil gets a lot of age and miles on it, you can destroy those parts and they fall apart. And really, you really should check your car over. This is why, again, saying have your mechanic do an oil change, because just change the oil and drive it. You didn't Check your brakes, check everything over, your fluids. We've already checked the differentials, the transmission, everything's good on here. So those are things you got to check other than just changing your oil. You put a lot of money into your car. This is an investment. You want to treat it like an investment, like a piece of art. Take care of it. There's a lot of sirens going by. I keep hearing sirens. It must be Crazy D trying to rob somebody again. Oh, there he is. Are the cops coming after you? I keep hearing the cops.
No, everything's good.
What are you going off with?
I've got to borrow this for a minute.
Is that why they're coming? You stole a car and it broke down? Okay. All right. So anyways, we'll go ahead and start this up and let it circulate, and we'll check the oil level. This is the time while it's running. This is why I left the belly pan off. I can kneel down and take a look and make sure the things that I took loose are not leaking. You don't want the customer to find that. You want to find it so you can fix it. Everything looks good. When I checked the dipstick, it wasn't full. And I find this problem a lot with especially Mercedes. You look it up on All Data, or you look it up in the service manual, it says holds 8 quarts, holds 9 quarts. And you find when you get to the full mark on the dipstick, you've put 10 in, 9.5. I'm not sure why that is, but I like to put it up to the full mark. Right on the full mark. Perfect. Okay, well that pretty much finishes up the oil change. I'll get the belly pan put on, put a sticker on the window, and reset the service indicator on it. Again, this is John Riley's Bentley Continental GTC. If you're looking to rent one of these cars, you're in the neighborhood. He's got a Porsche Panamera Turbo. He's got a Mercedes CL63 AMG. Got a lot of cool cars. Look up John Riley on Turo. You won't be disappointed, I guarantee it. Also, like I said earlier, we're running the contest to win a dash cam, a Vantrue dash cam. So if the link is still below, you can go ahead and click on it and participate in the contest, and you may win a dash cam. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. If there's any tools I've been using you like, there's a lot of them listed on the Amazon affiliates page. We also got hoodies and shirts and decals, stickers for sale. You can click the link below and buy those. And hope you enjoyed. I thought you'd enjoy going along with me on an oil change on a beautiful Bentley. It's not every day you see one of these, so thanks for watching.